I recognized you, except you didn't have this, and you didn't have this. I remember on the courthouse steps, it was, you had the press conference.
Yes, it was a big one, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But now it's like all over the place. I've been reading that right now they're hitting up all these other rappers with Rico stuff all across the country.
They're still doing it. They're still using it. It's just a tool for mass incarceration. You know
Exactly.
Something that they can use. They're running out of things. Okay, now let's use your music.
Right. And I don't see any white boys. I don't see any white boys in court. And they rap too.
There you go there.
And they say that stuff. But you
and they got Lakeside Gangsters too. That's actually a documented gang out there.
Yeah, well, I've lived here all my life, so Poway, Lakeside, Fallbrook, all the K's are there.
Everywhere.
But yeah, this man here, I remember on the courthouse steps after, they tried to pull that. I think it was Bonnie McManus. Yeah, and all of that tried to pull that. And, and you and another guy.
Aaron Harvey.
Yeah, Aaron Harvey. That's right.
Yep.
But you're still doing First Amendment advocacy stuff?
I'm still doing. Like I said, I could never turn a blind eye to injustice again in my life.
Yeah. Do you help people as far as advocating?
Drake with a ruler, I made sure my attorneys got on top of his situation, and a couple of other rappers. Anytime I see a rapper going through that type, I'll make sure I send it to my attorneys.
That's
hey,
good, man.
Look into this.
You still have your attorneys, right?
Of course,
because have they been since 2015, right? Have they been?
Yeah, they work. Like I said, I did.
No. Have the San Diego police?
Oh no. I've been fine.
But have they been hassling you?
No. I've been a couple of times. I don't stay in San Diego.
Oh yeah.
I got on. Yeah, they haven't. Like I said, after that, Monty Tumana literally called us, tried to sit us down, apologize to us, and everything else. Yeah, after she called me every single day and told me I was the worst person in the world.
Yeah.
After that, everything
You never
was said.
You never sued anybody?
Of course I did.
Fill me in on that, because I don't remember.
1.5 million. So
there you go.
After everything was over, we filed a civil rights lawsuit.
Hey, can you tell my subscribers who you are and how you stumbled across us? We just wrapped up the interview right now, and he walked up, and what happened?
I recognized him. Well, I saw you guys doing the interview, and then I recognized him. I go, I know that guy. Where do I know? And then I kind of overheard what he was saying about it. I go, and then I went back and I got my phone and kind of refreshed my memory. But I remember him in 2015, where the San Diego district attorney tried to pull these Rico charges on him for his rap music, First Amendment right to do what that kind of stuff, and tried to yank him in. But I didn't know about him winning the lawsuit because
1.5 million.
Good for you, man.
You see him shining.
Thanks a lot.
You see him shining.
But this man I remember his case kind of set the other cases for defenses around the country.
Mine was the first. It was the first time they used it.
Yeah.
It was against us. Yeah, so they have to.
And for me personally, I'm a First Amendment advocate. If you're on YouTube, hope you don't mind, I'm gonna plug my channel.
No,
it's
called
the
YouTube.
Beach Cam on YouTube. The Beach Cam. And I'm a First Amendment advocate, although I've been kind of harnessed a little bit because they've set up all these restrictions on me because I was charged with interfering for filming. Yeah. Wow. And they put all these restrictions on me, so I'm kind of restricted now, but we're in the process of possibly doing a lawsuit of our own.
Good, that's good.
So because they've just been harassing me, like right now, if the cops showed up, they wouldn't go for you guys, they'd go for me because you have a restraining order and all of this stuff, which is and if you go to my website, my YouTube channel, it explains it pretty much fully.
Say it again for the people.
The Beach Cam on YouTube, man. But this gentleman here, First Amendment advocacy, man. You gotta do it because we're going into it now in this country where everything's restricted. They've got a couple of states where they got distance laws now. You can't film within a certain distance. I'll have to refresh my memory of what state, but it's 25 feet. It's a law now.
So where you can't see anything, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
They've got policies now which aren't laws. In fact, one YouTube guy just got thrown 180 days in jail because the cop said it's our policy that you stay 21 feet away, but there's no law. And then but he's still got 180 days. He's serving.
And there's no law.
Yeah, there's no law. And that's the other
So
thing.
what did he get charged with?
He got charged with obstruction and interfering with an officer. Although he did do some antics in court, which weren't too the best thing, because out here you can basically film or do anything you want as long as it's not illegal. But in a courtroom, you can't do that same stuff because that's the judge's house.
Yeah, that's a different house.
You can't do that. It's a I think think it's called Delete Laws is the guy, but he's a good advocate. But then he kind of pulled that stunt, kind of got him in there.
Basically,
but,
get your cameras up, man.
Yeah, always film.
At
the end of every video I do, I say always film first responders and law enforcement, even if nothing happens. Just be there, because you never know.
Didn't they have a movie about that? What was that movie called? Where the dude was showing up to the scene before the police.
Nightcrawler. But he was what they call a stringer. What I used to be back in the day, a videotape. Back in the day, a videotape used to go out at night and shoot, police chases and car crashes and fires, and that's how people make money.
Yeah.
But those people, again, they have First Amendment rights too, but they kind of get a little, as you show up to a scene regularly and they see your stuff, the police and law enforcement, they get a little more access than the general public, even though the law says the press doesn't, the Supreme Court has said that the press doesn't get any more access than that of the general public. That's the law. So if you have a press pass, they might give you a little bit of access, but you're not really supposed to have it. You're just supposed to be wherever, just that of the general public. Anybody with a phone. Now we're all journalists advocates because we have phones in our pocket, cameras in our pocket.
Exactly.
So, but again, this gentleman right here, man, he started. I remember that press conference on the courthouse steps, and then Bonnie apologizing. But I'm glad you won your case, and maybe we should talk about.
Thank you for sure. I'll give you my contact.
Yeah, because we're possibly starting a process of doing that ourselves. But maybe some advice of how you kind of handle it. Mine's going to be with the city, not the county.
Okay.
Yeah, City of San Diego.
Okay.
And now we got the new chief, Chief Wall. He's not official yet, but he's just got to get approved by City Council.
Okay.
And he is a definite, not a media-friendly guy. I remember him when he was a sergeant down here at Western Division.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
Got a whole
But in San Diego, we kind of got our own little. Nobody really, we don't make a lot of national news about this stuff. But their attitude towards people with phones is really, really bad. They'll be here for 20 minutes trying to argue, hey, you go over there, you can't be here. They do it every day, every single day.
Get out here,
Congratulations.
Thank you for everything.
And what was your name?
They call me Hoodie, or Hoodie from the Hood. That's
Hoodie
the channel.
From the Hood. Hoodie from the, and it's HOODIE.
Yep.
Hoodie from the Hood.
Yeah.
When's this gonna be on?
You know what? I'll probably put it out tomorrow. Now I'm gonna put this little clip is going up right now.
You keep up the good work, and if you do any advocacy, contact me or anything. You say you're not in San Diego all the time, right?
No, but I'm here.
All right, but I could use some advice maybe on the lawsuit part of it, how to kind of handle it.
I'll give you my attorney's information.
Yeah.
I'll text you on mine.
It's on my card too.
Oh, is it? Okay, well, you got the card. I got your card.
That's all right. I'll enter it.
Okay.
Just make the call, right?
Yeah.
And again, it's the Beach Camp, but my real name's Ed.
Okay.
It says there, Ed Buyer, the Beach Camp.
All right, y'all make sure y'all go check his channel out.
Yeah, man.
If y'all interested in that type of stuff.
And any of you other First Amendment advocates, man, let's, strengthen numbers. One guy out there can, he's kind of vulnerable. They can mess with you. But you go out in a group, it's really hard for a group of four, and a cop trying to arrest one out of the four or something. Always try to group it, one or more, or two at least, because again, they'll pull their shenanigans. Every excuse in the book of why the cameras aren't supposed to be here.
Right.
And it's horrible, and then they don't even release half their body camera footage because of the way the law's written. But
yeah, they can turn them on and off.
Yeah, they can turn them on and off, but they also, it's part of an investigation because the California Public Records Act says they can't, if they have the strength to say, hey, we're still in the middle of an investigation, even though they might not be, and they don't have to release like the full camera footage. They edit together like a news organization the highlights to show in their good light. There's a company in Northern California. It's called a Critical Incident Video. Look that up. Look that up because Critical critical incident video. They've got a contract with all law enforcement across the country.
Clean up their stuff.
And yeah, and the lady who runs it used to be a news reporter, used to be a journalist, so she knows how to edit. And that's whenever they release a podcast that says critical incident video, that's not a description, it's the name of the company. Yeah, but just kind of shows how they got the contracts and how, you know, they edited from, like, you know, it could be 5 hours of video into a 3-minute.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
What did you think about that case? Like
His case?
Yeah, did you?
Oh man, I understand from my memory, it was not just him, but they kind of got a group of people together, but they lumped him into it somehow. Him and Aaron, was it? On a trail end, because you were making the music.
Exactly.
And again, it was a First Amendment issue. He had the right, and still does, as any citizen does in this country, to write or say anything they want. You know, and they were trying to, because they didn't like what you were doing.
What I was saying, exactly.
Right? Am I right on that? They didn't like the content, so they kind of put you in.
They said it wasn't an outlet. They said one song. They said it was an outlet for other songs.
But his, you know, his standing up to it, you know, I guess I understand that a lot of the other ones kind of continued on, other than you two.
They took the deals,
Yeah.
Only because they were scared. They were tired of going to court. We've been going back and forth to court.
Yeah.
You know, people got tired.
Did they get rid of your conviction? Not conviction, but the arrest?
Yeah, they got rid of all that, everything.
So you're totally, you got it expunged.
Well, you know what? I'm not going to say that because it's not good for the system.
Oh, it's still.
So, yeah, that's
Yeah. See, that's the thing with me on these, what they call 148s. It's the interfering with an officer. I got a ton of them.
And they just keep coming up.
Yeah, and it keeps coming up, and it's like an accumulation. So now they're saying, they're not using Rico, but they're saying, I'm a consistent interferer. Because I've got like 6 of these arrests, 6 or 7 or 8 of these arrests for 148. And then they say, oh, now he's a menace to society. He's a danger to our office. Because it's a consistent thing. And that's what they do, you know. I mean, I'm willing to go, and I think everybody should, you know, I'm willing to go to jail for my rights, and stand up for my rights.
Of course.
You know, I mean, look at Jane Fonda. I know another, you know, she's 80 years old, and she's almost close to 90, and she's still trying to, you know, getting arrested all the time. You know, not all the time, but she's still getting arrested, man. She's been doing it since before we were all born.
Right.
But that's who I get my, you know. Yeah, everybody, you know, all the people that did the 70s and the 60s and locking arms, walking and stuff.
Exactly.
That's where I get my inspiration, because that stuff, you know, that was the real deal then.
Makes sense, yeah.
You know, in those days, you know, they'd slit your throat or hang you or, you know, beat the crap out of you. And they'd do, okay, well, whatever. So, but a lot of cops now, thanks to, not specifically his case, but a lot of cops now are going to jail. They got those guys from Alabama the other day, 40 years for beating that black man.
Right.
They were torturing him, the whole gang from that Alabama police department.
Okay. Wow.
That kind of stuff, man.
I gotta look that one up.
Yeah, it's